Welcome to Greenprint Training Attribute Queries. Beyond its basic features, the Greenprint has advanced features to help you search, analyze, and refine your mapping work. Attribute querying tools illustrate how to find items within a data source which match some characteristic or condition we set. In this module, we'll cover the basic components and steps for conducting a query. Attribute queries are not dependent on having the features selected and displayed in the viewer. Rather, we will select the data source of interest and query for items within that data source or layer. The software will find the matches. It will display the results in the results panel or table, and it will also highlight the location of the results in the viewer. We can instruct the software to find results for the entire county or just for the map area we're viewing. To start, open the toolbar, navigate to the Identify and Query tab, and select the query function. The query panel has three main components: data source, map area, and the condition fields. First is the data source. Use the drop-down menu to view all of the data sources or layers available to query. Now, just because a data source is available does not mean that it's logical to query within it. Scroll down to find the water bodies layer. Select it, and under conditions you'll note that there's only one thing by which to query: type. Though you could query a data set like this, it's generally simpler just to view the layer or use the filtering function to display the type of water body of interest and hide the other types. Second is the map area. The menu gives us two options. If we select all, we'll get the results for the entire county. If we select current extent and are zoomed in to a defined geography, we'll get results from the current extent displayed in the viewer at the time. Third is the conditions section. We can set one or more conditions, and we can direct the query to find all of the items that match that condition, a more narrow set of results, or items which meet one or more conditions, a broader set of results. Each data source has its own unique set of conditions. These are the data fields embedded in this data source or layer. To view a few, let's look at existing tree canopy. The first element of condition is the name of the data field. Some sources, like existing tree canopy, have many data fields and therefore many conditions from which to choose. Let's look at another data source, 100-year floodplain. This has very few data fields, so very few conditions from which to choose. Let's explore demographic data. Particularly, let's look at housing units occupied. So the two other fields are setting the conditions for the match. The options are context sensitive and change to align with the type of data available. For example, if the values associated with this condition are variable numeric, such as they are with housing units occupied, the comparator settings will be things like greater than, equal to, greater than and equal to. The exclamation point followed by an equal sign is used to express not equal to. The third field is where we actually set the condition values. For most conditions, once the comparator is set, this field will auto-populate with options. Note when I clicked in the field, there are some actual values from which I can choose. Or I can put in a customized value of my own. Now, if the value conditions are attribute data, such as neighborhood names, then the comparator settings change to things like contains, does not contain, start with, etc. Once again, clearing any value that I had, It will auto-populate, and I can choose or I can select one of the options available to me. Let's do a few quick examples with these units. Stay in the data source, demographics. Let's choose housing units occupied, greater than or equal to, and clear the neighborhood name. And let's put in 100. Then click search. You'll notice that there are over 800 results. And when we actually click on the results panel, we'll get them all up. We'll see that we're looking at page 1 of 18. And we will see the results displayed in yellow. These are census blocks that have occupied housing units of 100 or more. And as I click through the pages, you'll see where the other results are being displayed. Note that when I hover over a result, it changes from yellow to blue. Let's go back and clear these results. Try something a little different. So housing units were variable data, meaning that they are quantities expressed as numbers along a sequential scale. Attribute data are labels. They can be anything from eye color to type of house to neighborhood name. Not always used, but let's just demonstrate by showing a query by neighborhood name. So this time select Cleveland neighborhood. Let's set the comparator to contains. Delete the number from our previous search, and let's select the Broadway Slavic Village. Okay, and then we hit search. We see that there are over 400 results, and you can see where they're located. So what I'm really showing there are any census block from this data set that is affiliated with the neighborhood called Broadway Slavic Village. Let's make this query a bit more relevant. So let's go back and clear these results. Let's keep the data source as demographic and the map area all. Let's go back to our housing units occupied, greater than or equal to. And we'll set that to 100. But then we'll add another condition. And this time we'll select Cleveland neighborhood contains Broadway Slavic Village. So I'm asking the computer to give me the census blocks that have occupied housing units of greater than or equal to 100 in that census block that are in the Broadway Slavic Village neighborhood. So now we see that I just have 5 results, and these are the locations of those census blocks. So you see how you can use multiple conditions to narrow the query search as well. Okay, let's try another type of very simple query. So first, clear the results that we have. And I'm actually going to clear the second condition. So I also want to zoom out a bit so we can see the entire county. And we're going to choose municipalities. And there's only a few items to search on, but we do have the size, the calculated area of each municipality. So let's look for municipalities that are greater than or equal to 5 acres. Okay, and we'll notice that there are 29 municipalities in Cuyahoga County that are greater than or equal to 5 acres. Okay, and certainly you could do the opposite. Suppose you were looking at those as the larger municipalities, and now you want to see the list of all of those that are less than or equal to 5 acres. And there's those 30. So just another way of doing simple queries. Okay, let's do one more set of querying, but first let's clear our results. And let's zoom in a little bit. And I do want to display the municipal boundaries, so I'm just going to put them on so we can see them. Okay, I'm going to kind of focus on the Fairview Park area. But let's do a query where we're interested in census blocks by age. So we're going to choose the census demographic data, and we're going to search for percent age 65 or older. And I'm interested in census blocks that are greater than or equal to 30% of the population being 65 and older. So I'm going to set my criteria for that, and right now I'm going to leave the map area to all, hit search, and we're getting lots of information. So lots of results, and they are from all over the county. Notice there are 50 pages that I would have to scroll through to see all of these. All right, I'd like to narrow my search a bit, so I am going to go back. I'm going to clear that data. Now let's do this search again, but because we are in this area, we're looking at the Fairview Park. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on Fairview Park. Okay, let's do the search again, but this time let's do it in current extent. Percent age 65 or older, greater than or equal to 30%. And definitely have fewer results, but as I page through them, I can see where the ones are in Fairview Park, but it's also showing me the ones in the rest of the extent of the viewer that I'm looking at. So let's do this one more time, clear those results, keep everything the same, except we're going to add a condition, and we're going to choose municipality contains Fairview Park, hit the search function, and even fewer. So now I'm seeing the 14 census blocks which have population of people age 65 or older, in which 30% of the people in that block meet that criteria, only within the Fairview Park range. These are just a few of the types of querying that you can do with the Greenprint. We encourage you to use the Greenprint and experiment with different data sources and the different condition clauses for the types of information you're interested in. So thank you for watching this Cuyahoga County Planning Commission Greenprint training video. For more information on the Greenprint or other tools and services, visit our website at www.countyplanning.us.